All eyes on the courtroom today as day one of the Dr. Teresa Sievers murder trial begins. And thanks for joining us at 5 o'clock. I'm Patrick Nolan. Four in Your Corner has team coverage of this trial. It's taken 4 years to get to this day. We've got reporters and court TV correspondents both inside and outside the courthouse, bringing you live updates as they happen in this case. But before we get to today's events, we just want to make sure you're up to speed on everything. So we're taking a look back at this case. Dr. Teresa Sievers was a prominent holistic doctor in Bonita Springs. On the morning of June 29th, 2015, a family friend found her body on her kitchen floor. She had been beaten to death with a hammer. Investigators say she had been vacationing with her husband, Mark, and 2 young daughters in Connecticut, but she came home to Southwest Florida a day early. 2 months after Teresa's murder, the investigation led to the arrest of 2 men in Missouri, Jimmy Rodgers and Curtis Wright. And it turns out Wright and Mark Sievers had been best friends. In December of 2015, the state attorney's office released documents claiming Mark Sievers hired Jimmy Rodgers and Wright to kill his own wife so he could collect insurance money totaling nearly $4.5 million. In February of 2016, deputies arrested Mark Sievers in connection with his own wife's murder. Wright pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and agreed to cooperate with prosecutors. All that brings us to today. Sievers and Rodgers are finally standing trial. Rodgers' case is going to be up first, so let's give you a little bit of background on him. This is a chilling part of the story. Rodgers, who gave himself the nickname The Hammer, had served jail time in the past and was on probation when he was accused of coming to Florida and murdering Dr. Sievers. Rodgers' girlfriend, Taylor Shoemaker, is expected to testify in this case. Deputies say she confessed to knowing about her boyfriend's involvement in this murder. Investigators say Rodgers told her that he had killed Dr. Sievers with a hammer for $10,000. And documents indicate that she led detectives to evidence that Rodgers had dumped after that vicious crime. All right, now that you're all caught up with the case, we want to send it out to Fox 4 anchor Jane Monreal, who's at the Lee County Courthouse right now in downtown Fort Myers. Jane?
Exactly right. Yes, Patrick. We are live here in front of the downtown courthouse, like you said, and a very important first day as jury selection begins. Sandra Rodriguez is our eyes and ears today and throughout the trial on this first day, a very important day. But let's talk about, Sandra, the attorneys for both Jimmy Rodgers and Mark Sievers. They both asked for continuances. What were their reasons?
That's right, Jane. Well, Rodgers was the first one to go up in front of the judge, and his attorney said that they received information late. It wasn't until last week that she said she got certain information that the state had been had for 4 years and didn't disclose it. So that is why she wanted more time. And as far as Sievers, his attorney is saying that one of the witnesses for the state started off as a C witness and now is an 8 witness. And they say they did not have enough time to depose that witness, which means they didn't have enough time to question that witness under oath. And that is why they wanted more time. But the judge said denied both motions.
Okay, so denied both motions.
Yes.
How would you describe the overall mood there in the courtroom? Was there anything outrageous said by the judge or any of the potential jurors?
No, the mood was pretty quiet, everybody down to business. The most, what you would say, kind of a little bizarre was Sievers' reactions as to when the judge was telling Rodgers that his trial would go first. He kind of had a smirk on his face.
Exactly, and so he kept on smirking or smiling, but that was because the judge said that Rodgers was going to be on trial first.
Well, that's when he started to smirk, when he announced that Rodgers' trial would be going first. Now, Sievers is the backup trial, which means that if in the 5-week period, which is what is estimated to last, a verdict isn't determined for Rodgers,
then they'll go right to Sievers
instead.
Exactly. You're going to join us at 6 o'clock on the jury selection itself. Sandra, thank you so much. Has been there all day this morning. So that is the case for now, but our coverage of day one already pretty eventful in the Teresa Sievers murder trial. This will continue at 5:30. That's when we're going to have our legal expert, Pam C. She'll stop by to answer questions that we may have heard in the courtroom so far. Patrick? Also, we want to remind you, Four in Your Corner will be your source for all information on the Teresa Sievers murder trial, and you can count on Fox 4 to bring you the latest developments from the courtroom.